Okay guys, I still don't have the parts here, but I thought I could do some things while I'm waiting for the parts to come. And one of the things is I can try and remove the pump from here. Remember how I said I was gonna buy a bolt and I'm gonna build a special tool? Well, I don't need to do that anymore because the other day there was a drive with the Toronto Triumph Club members, and one of the members, John Lille, came and brought this tool for me. I mean, he let me borrow it for a while and I'll have to return it to him. So thank you so much, John. I think I'm gonna pull them out now, and since I'm going in his direction tonight to grab something else from his neighborhood, I can return the tool to him. So I guess this bolts to the pump. Well, it fits. Okay, just a reminder, before you pull the pump, you have to remove the check valve from here, otherwise I don't know what's gonna happen. Just that's what the manual says. I have to hold these two, because if I don't hold here, the bolt keeps tightening on the pump, and I don't want to be tightening. I want this nut to be pulling the rod out, but not to tighten the rod to the pump. I don't know if you see, guys. I hope you do. Okay. So the plunger is here. And spring. To be honest, I don't know how this works. The pump, I mean. Oh, I see. The slot is a little bit further than the bowl, than the opening. So the plunger pushes oil. When it passes the slot, it starts pushing the oil and creates pressure, and the only way for it to go somewhere is through this hole. I guess it pushes the bowl up, then the oil passes through, and then when it comes back, it sucks oil because the bowl goes down, and then it sucks oil again through the slot underneath. So that's why the bowl needs to be sitting very tight here, so when it goes down, to block the oil from going back. That's why it's called one-way valve. Okay, so one pump is out. Let me pull out the other one. This, I should be careful not to mix up the parts for the two overdrives. So that's one. And this is the other one. Here, as far as I remember, I didn't even remove the screws yet. I need to remove the screws and the plug. Did I remove the valve here? Yes, the valve is out. Okay. Somebody said it was very hard to remove those screws for them, but for me it looks like it worked well. And probably now I'm gonna return these two to John, but I'm gonna make one for myself just for the future, because I know that where there's one, there's another, and when there's another, there are many more. So, you know what, guys? You saw already what's going on, so now I'm gonna make it more comfortable for myself. Looks nice and tight too. Good. And that's it. Both pumps are out, and now I can return the tool to John Lille. Thank you so much, John. I hope you never need this tool. Especially not for your TR4A, which is a beautiful car, by the way. So, another friend of mine, Jademuttley, who you probably know from YouTube. If you don't, I'm gonna put a link to his channel too. He's posting some very interesting videos about restoring Vitezes in the UK. So he sent me those pictures with measurements for a tool to assemble the unidirectional clutch. He offered even to send the tool so I can use it and send it back, but I don't think it's worth sending it all the way from the UK to here when I can build one myself. So he sent me those measurements, and based on those measurements I was gonna go and ask a machine shop to do it for me, but I realized that actually there isn't gonna be any pressure in it, so it doesn't really need to be in metal. It might be plastic or something similar. So I think I'm gonna use this. It's a PVC fitting for something, and this, and I'm gonna build myself a tool, a plastic one. So the imported measurement is 63 millimeters internal diameter, which is this, 63 and a half, but that's fine. And the depth is exactly what it needs to be, 13 millimeters if I cut this ring, and anything else is just optional. So I'm gonna just make a hole inside for my finger for when I put the bearing inside the unidirectional clutch. I can put my finger and hold it while I'm putting it inside the annulus. So I think that's gonna be very easy to build. Let's see. It's a little bit noisy here, I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger, and then I'm gonna grind while I don't need it. So now we're gonna glue this to this. This is instant glue from Word. I'm telling you guys, this glue is the only instant glue that I've ever seen working. Okay. Now we can cut around and we can grind it, and then we just need to make a slot, and that's it. So I'm gonna go cut it on the bandsaw. You don't need to come with me, I'm not gonna bother you again. Oops! I went and cut it, but while I was cutting it, it snapped, the glue. And I figured that the glue was only on this side, and on this side there was absolutely nothing, so I figured that this surface was way too smooth and the glue didn't stick. So I'm gonna do it again now. I sanded it a little bit on the sander, and I'm gonna do it again. We'll see. Now we're gonna grind around, or we're gonna sand around, we're gonna sand this surface, and then we're gonna have to cut a slot here, and we have to make the hole in the middle, and we're done. Okay, so we are almost there. Now the hole in the middle needs to be 39 inches. Not that it matters so much, but I'm gonna do it according to the drawings. So 39, pretty much in the center. So this bottle cap is 39 millimeters. Pretty centered, huh? Almost. And the last thing is the slot. So it needs to be 9.8 millimeters. 9.86. Wow. Okay. I'll take that. Great, I just realized I did it off camera. Guys. I'm sorry about that. So what I did was I used my tool and cut this circle out, and I cut this slot out, which is 9.8 millimeters, and I actually widen it a little bit, and I did it 9.93 millimeters. So I'm off by 40 to 50 to 60 thousandths of an inch. Okay, so we have here all the parts. I took them out so I can clean them and get them ready for the assembly. But what is our goal now first is to test assemble this unidirectional clutch, just to see if our tool is gonna work. Okay, so this goes like that. So we have a hook here. We have a hole here that this goes into, and then we have a hole here in the cage, this hole where this goes into. Okay, so now the spring is in this hole, the other end is in the hole of the inner ring, and then also these two slots are in place. So I'm gonna push this in now. I'm gonna hold the inner ring down so it doesn't come out, and I'm gonna start putting the rollers one by one through this hole, and then I'm gonna turn it 90 in the clockwise direction. I'm not sure about the direction, so I'm just testing it now. I guess the clockwise direction is the better direction. Some people do that with rubber band, some people do it with zip tie, but I think when you have a professionally built tool like this one, it's the best, right? More. Okay, and we are there. So now I'm gonna try installing it in the annulus, but for this reason I have to pull you a little bit back, right? Okay, I'll try to keep it like that so you can see, which means it's not gonna be very comfortable for me, but let's see if this is gonna work. Voila! Wow! Unbelievable, huh? Great. So thank you so much, Peter, for sending me the drawings. Wow, that's unbelievable. I'm gonna have to clean this gasket, and actually here we haven't put the brake plate. This is the brake plate, and it should have a direction. So now I can't really rely on this because this was installed by somebody who I'm sure just guessed, but yeah, of course I can see here. Yeah, fantastic. Now I know why we had issues with the oil, because you see there is a hole here and there's a hole here, and I'm sure these holes are for the oil to pass. Okay, that's our issue, definitely. My friend, I hope you're watching now. You see this? There is a hole here which is covered with silicone on the back side, and there's a hole here which is covered with silicone on this side, and these holes are actually where the oil travels between the two parts of the overdrive. Plus I'm sure some pieces of it fell inside and went through the pump and maybe covered some other holes somewhere. So I need to make sure that all oil passages are clean. So these are the other ends of the slots, that these holes. I cleaned this already, but have to figure out which way it goes, because there's a beveled edge here and the other one is straight edge. So I have to figure out which way does it go, but when you put it here, these holes line up with these two slots too. So you know now why the bearing at the back got screwed, because there was no oil going to it, and that was thanks to my friend Okay, I think we are in position now where we can put this, pull this. To pull this out, I think I'm gonna find an old end of speedometer cable, and I'm gonna use it so I can pry it out. Let's see if I have one. I have one. Look what it looks like. Okay. So we're gonna put this here. We're gonna loosen this. Copper washer, of course. And now this is supposed to come out. No. Huh. Really? Why isn't it coming out? It's turning, but it's not coming out. Oh, now it's coming. Okay. There we go. Okay. So you see, by using the old end of speedometer cable, you can pull this out. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, and now we're only waiting for press, so we can press this out and then and the parts, so we can start assembling. And when we press this out, we're gonna see what's inside or what's not inside anymore. Oh, and by the way, we got package today. So let's see what's in it. Huh. There's another package. Oh. Ta-da! Voila! So we have also a pressure gauge to measure the pressure, so we can see if we're doing anything or not. So we're slowly but surely we're getting there.